My son Noah's 10th birthday was supposed to be the night he felt like the most important person in the room, celebrated in one of the city's most exclusive seafood lounges. Instead, it became the night my sister-in-law treated me like staff. The private dining room sparkled with imported crystal, silver buckets filled with vintage champagne, and the fake smiles of 6 influencers she had invited without telling anyone. Noah walked in, carefully holding his small birthday cake, his face glowing with excitement. She didn't even look at him. Without hesitation, she pushed him out of the birthday seat. Then she looked straight at me and snapped her fingers. "Marion, move that cheap cake. Get more chairs. And put this on your card. Consider it your rent for being part of this family." The words hit hard, but I didn't react. I gently took Noah's hand, wished her a pleasant evening, and walked out. The moment those doors closed behind me, I decided to end her. I handle elite corporate crises for a living. When million-dollar events fall apart, I fix them without breaking a sweat. But the hardest problem I've ever faced? Heather. The family's golden child. Designer clothes. Perfect image. Untouchable reputation. All fake. Behind the scenes? Maxed out credit cards. Secret loans. And my husband quietly cleaning up her messes. Last year, she cried and stole $2,000 from our vacation fund, claiming it was to save her house. 2 days later, she was posting spa selfies in a white robe, sipping mimosas. No one cared. Family helps family, they said. That was the moment they chose her over me. And tonight, they would pay for it. Heather didn't hijack Noah's birthday just to be cruel. She was desperate. Those influencers? Not friends. They were her ticket to a sponsored trip, if she could fake wealth for one more night. But her accounts were frozen. Her husband's cards were already failing. Stealing my reservation was her last move. She expected me to stay quiet.
To pay.
To smile. Like always. She thought I was a doormat. She was wrong. Back in the main room, Heather performed like she owned the place. 2 grand seafood platters, she said. Lobster. Caviar. The best. She leaned back, smirking. And 3 bottles of your finest champagne. Actually, keep them coming. The influencers giggled, filming everything. My sister-in-law's paying, Heather added sweetly. She loves to treat us. At the end of the table, my mother-in-law looked pale. Moments later, she dragged me into the hallway. "Please," she whispered. "Just pay. Don't make a scene. Be the bigger person." Something in me shut off. "You only say family when you want me to swallow poison," I said calmly. Then I stepped closer. Tonight, I'd rather be the villain protecting my son than the fool funding a parasite. I walked straight to the manager. "No drama. Just precision. The private room is moving downstairs," I said. "For my real guests." "Upstairs," I added. "Separate check. 20% gratuity. Not 1 cent on my account." He nodded. He understood. Downstairs, Noah finally smiled. Candles lit. Cake glowing.
Peace.
Upstairs, the clock was ticking. At 9:15, the bill hit the table. $3,500. Heather laughed nervously and threw down her card.
Beep. Declined.
Another card.
Beep. Declined.
A third.
Beep.
Declined. Silence. Then Lexi, the influencer queen, laughed. "You're broke," she said, tossing a crumpled $20 onto the table. Pathetic. She walked out. The others followed, fast. Within a minute, Heather was alone. With the bill.
And me.
She looked up, panic turning into rage. "Marion," she screamed. "Fix this." I stepped closer, looking at the empty shells, the drained champagne, and smiled as I watched the truth hit her. Right there, in her wide, desperate eyes. "Uninvited guests pay their own way," I said quietly. Then I turned and walked out into the cool night air. Marcus made sure she didn't follow. He stopped her at the lobby and placed a single document on the counter. "Sign this," he told her, "or leave in a police car." Heather tried to argue, tried to bluff, but fear won. She handed over everything, her phone, her ID, even Kevin's car keys. Locked away in the restaurant safe. She had 24 hours to come back with $3,500. It should have ended there. But desperate people don't stop. They escalate. By 9 o'clock the next morning, Heather was at my house. She wasn't there for apologies. She was there to steal. She knew about the $5,000 emergency envelope I kept for my business. She thought she could take it and save herself. But I already knew who she was. The locks had been changed the night before. No keyhole. No entry. My phone buzzed. Security alert. I opened the camera feed. There she was on my patio, jamming a screwdriver into the door. The alarm exploded through the neighborhood. Most people would run. Heather didn't. I tapped the speaker. Are you seriously trying to rob me to pay for oysters? She froze. Then snapped. She started screaming at the camera, demanding I open the door, completely ignoring the blaring siren. 7 minutes later, police cars boxed her in. I watched them force her to the ground. Handcuffs clicked. And just like that, everything collapsed. Kevin filed for divorce that same day. My in-laws? Terrified of legal trouble. They cut her off completely. But the real damage was just beginning. Because Heather missed her 24-hour deadline. She was sitting in a holding cell. Marcus followed through. He reported the incident. Now she had 2 felony charges in 48 hours. The court didn't go easy on her. 3 years probation. 500 hours of community service. $3,500 in restitution. And socially? It was worse. Those influencers she tried so hard to impress, they found her mugshot, posted it, mocked her.
Publicly.
Kevin finalized the divorce within 6 months. My in-laws drained their savings trying to fix what couldn't be fixed. Then finally, they let her go. 6 months later, a letter arrived. No return address.
Just her handwriting.
She talked about her hard life, her tiny apartment, then wrote, I forgive you. We're still family. I didn't react, didn't feel anything. I folded the letter and dropped it in the trash. Life is different now. Quiet, peaceful,
Real.
We hosted a barbecue last weekend.
Friends.
Neighbors, people who respect us. No drama, no demands, no fear. Noah laughed all day. That's all that matters. Here's what I learned. Toxic people build fake worlds and expect you to fund them. You don't have to. You can walk away. Anytime.
3 rules saved me.
1. Blood doesn't make family. Respect does. 2. Boundaries without consequences are useless. 3. Real power is silent. Separate the check and let reality do the rest. That $3,500? It's sitting in Noah's college fund now. Exactly where it belongs. Sometimes, the only way to protect your peace is to become the villain in someone else's story. And I'm okay with that. My tab?
Permanently closed.